Never done Facebook Live before. Is anybody on yet? Okay, looks like 2 people are on so far. I guess there's a little eye icon at the top that says 2. So I'll wait just a little bit to give more people a chance to get on. Do you guys that are here, do you know if does this record and then people can watch it later on the Facebook page? So should I start or should I wait for more people to come on? I don't see any comments. Can somebody that's on at least make a comment so I can know that that at least is working? Okay, great. Thank you. I think what I'll do is just wait a couple more minutes to give people a chance to see this live. I'm pretty sure that it gets recorded and so people can watch it later, but it'd be nice to have more of you guys to interact with before I start. Maybe just like 2 or 3 more minutes I'll get started. Sort of weird having the camera this close. Okay, looks like there's 4 people on live right now, so maybe in 1 more minute I'll start. Okay, looks like 2 more people have joined. If you just got on, I'm just giving it a minute or 2 for more people to come on and then I'll get started. So we'll start in like 60 seconds. Okay, I think we'll go ahead and get going with who all's here right now. So welcome everybody. My name is Michael Monk, and I'm going to be given an exercise, a sample exercise from something that I teach within my course. I call it heart breathing. It's a section from a lesson that I call chakra breathing. Before I get into the lesson, I think it's important to explain my view on chakras, and that is that we don't really have them, at least not in the way that they're currently understood. What we have is major glands within our body. Like in our throat, we have our thyroid. In the center of our mind, we have our pineal and the pituitary gland. Here on the high heart, we have the thymus. And down by the solar plexus, we have adrenals, so on and so forth. These major glands produce hormones that are responsible for the major feelings that we have in our emotional system. And these hormones have a vibration associated with them, so it could be seen as color by those with clairvoyance that can see energy. And so I believe that's how the legend got started, about chakras, is that people in ancient times could see these focus points of energy within the body, could see that they have a color associated with them, and I believe that's how it started. So we have source energy radiating throughout our entire body, 360 degrees coming out of us. That energy goes through these focal points, these glands in our bodies, thyroid, thymus, pineal, pituitary, adrenals, and it creates these major energy signatures in our body that physically equivalent to a hormone, which equates to emotional health and well-being, biochemical. There's so much, that the functions of the hormones are responsible for, and there's major equivalents to that energetically. If you look at a candle flame, like if you light a candle, you'll see that there's like the primary flame, and then around the flame is like an aura. And if your clairvoyance is open, you'll see that even that aura has an aura. So saying that the chakras are the energy that's propelling our body would be similar to saying that the aura around the flame is what's propelling the flame, when really it's more like the candle flame is responsible for the aura. So our physical glands in our body are what's responsible for the energy patterning the chakras. Now, this is an important lesson for many reasons. The first that I'm going to discuss is freeing up the hormonal system, getting everything in balance. What we do for this is we use the breath to connect to energy, and then we use that flow of the breath to move energy through the major glands of our endocrine, our hormonal system. And in a way, you could say that balances the chakras, and it also balances the physical system, and it enables you to feel good independently of anything that might be going on in your life. Like typically in the human experience, we tend to equate whether or not we feel good to what events we're currently experiencing in our life. If we've gotten good news, then we give ourselves a permission slip to feel happy. If somebody's upset us, then we begin to feel angry, and it seems like we don't have much control over this. Well, once you learn to focus your energy to get these energy centers unstuck and flowing, you'll learn that you can activate any one of them as you wish, and you can learn to begin to feel the way that you want to feel independently of any external events that might be going on around you. So back to the breath. The breath is basically a psychological symbol that we use to move energy. I mean, everything in the body is. When you understand that we're consciousness at our root, that ultimately we are a mind, like a mind experiencing itself as being a body. When you understand that, you can begin to realize that everything is mind, like your hands, that is part of your mind. Your feet are a part of your mind. And what our soul is doing by being incarnated in this body is it's mapping out these structures to give our mind, our consciousness, different ways of experiencing itself. So ultimately, like within the physical body, we use breath to move air, which is energy, in through our nose and mouth, and we use it as a medium to move physical level air. Well, from the soul level, you can use this same medium, breath, which is, like I said, just a psychological symbol that we use to move energy. You can use that same motion, that same willpower, to move energy in the electromagnetic spectrum. And you can do it from any location. So once you get good at this exercise, you'll be able to breathe through your hands, breathe through your head, breathe through your heart, and even at later levels you can learn to use the breath outside of the body, which is something I do quite frequently. If you've seen any of my demonstrations where I move the wind, like move leaves through trees and stuff like that, well, sometimes the technique that I use for that is to externalize my breath into the tree and start breathing in and out from the perspective of the tree, and that'll actually cause movement of energy within the tree, which equates to the wind blowing. This is also used for healing, healing other people. You can project your breath outside of yourself and into their body, and then use that motion to move energy in and out of their body to enact healing, clearing, cleaning, all sorts of things like that. So for this one, we're going to focus first on heart breathing, which is I believe, the most important aspect to the lesson, and that is to take that psychological symbol of breath. The first thing we have to do is find it within ourselves. Like, where does the will, where does the desire to breathe come from? First we have to find that, and then we're going to translocate that down to the center of our chest, and we're going to learn to breathe large volumes of energy from out here into our heart. And this has many effects, like so many benefits that it's hard to really list them all. But the major ones are that it centers yourself within what I would say is the most balanced chakra of the body, which is the heart. It also connects to the multidimensionality of your soul, like what you could call past lives, future lives. They're all simultaneous parts of your being. This connects you to all of them and pulls them all into one location, into your center. So it embarks you on the path of integration, of connecting to your multidimensional lives and centering them or integrating that energy into your current experience, which grows your sense of being within who you believe that you are now. It also activates the thymus gland, which is what's responsible for what we call the heart chakra. It's beneath the breastplate, and the thymus gland, its major physical function is to produce white blood cells, which, as you probably know, aid in fighting disease and keeping the body clean. So doing this exercise regularly is going to center you. It's going to help keep you free of disease. It's going to keep you healthy, and it's going to keep your multidimensional fragments of yourself integrated into your current idea of who you are. Then later, after this heart breathing exercise, I'll show you some more functions that we can do with it, but we're going to start with this. So the first thing that we have to do is to find where that willpower rests within us, where that desire to breathe comes from. So I'm going to take you through that experience first, and I'm going to explain what to do first, and then we'll go into it and do it together. So what you're going to want to do after I finish describing it is you're going to close your eyes and you're going to deprive yourself of breath, so you're not going to breathe. And then you're going to feel deep within your body, deep within your being, where the desire to breathe comes from. And what you'll notice is that when you don't really need a breath, like right now I've been breathing in and out, so if I close my eyes and I locate the desire to breathe, it's up here high, like it's in my neck and in my head area. What you'll notice is that the stronger desire that you have to breathe, which comes from not having taken a breath in a while, it starts to anchor down deeper and deeper in your body. So if you haven't breathed in like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you'll feel this burning desire to breathe down in your heart. And if you go without breath for a long time, it can go all the way down to the root. which has been called the survival chakra. And by the time it gets there, you pretty much have to breathe. So depending on how soon you've taken a breath will determine where you find this part of yourself that desires to breathe. But for this particular exercise, most of you are going to find it somewhere in the center of the mind, down by the throat. So what I want you to go ahead and do is close your eyes and don't breathe. And then just feel deep within your being as the desire to breathe surfaces, as it comes forward. Just find the location. That's all we're doing for now. So I'll do it with you guys and sort of connect in. And instantly for me, it was located about right here near the top of the throat, or at the base of my head. And then as I continued to not breathe, it steadily went lower and lower, and the desire, the power behind that intense desire to breathe obviously increases. So what you do once you've found where the desire to breathe is located within you is you translocate it with your consciousness. So everything is mind, like the inside of your body, these are just extensions with your mind. And anywhere that consciousness is present, there is no distance. So like right now I can feel my head and I can feel my feet, like right at the same time. So there's no distance for my consciousness to travel to change awareness between my head and my feet. It's instantaneous because consciousness is present in both places. And I can take my mind and make that a part of my feet. I can take my feet, make that a part of my mind. Wherever consciousness is present, there is no distance between everything, and everything is one or connected. So what you want to do is reach inside of yourself, find that spot within your mind where the desire to breathe comes from, and then you want to lower it or place it right here, right on your breastplate. And then what you want to do, once you've translocated, once you've placed that desire to breathe right here on your high heart, is you want to begin a very long, slow inhale where you are mentally insisting that instead of breathing air in through the nose and the mouth, that the motion of breathing is going to cause energy to rush in through your heart. So go ahead and do a very long, slow inhale where you are mentally insisting that the motion of breathing is going to pull in air or energy right into the center of your breastplate. And then exhale. Now, depending on how connected you are already determines what you felt from that. For me, I felt a vast condensation of magnetic energy. Like the longer I did the breath, the more energy accumulated here, and it starts to feel like a dense or a very solid clump of electromagnetic energy. So it just depends on how open you are, and there's some other things we can do to help you get further with this exercise, and we're going to do a lot more with it. I'm just going in steps to help you get it. So I imagine that some of you guys got it just from that explanation and that try. But what I'm going to do now is give you a tip to amplify this. And for those of you guys who weren't able to feel it, this is going to make it a lot easier. So what I'm going to want you to do in just a minute, like wait till I'm done talking, but I'm just going to explain it first, is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to slap your breastplate really hard, like 5 to 6 times until you have a nice stinging sensation right there on your breastplate. So don't do that yet, but I'm just explaining what it is that you're going to do. Now, doing that, slapping hard enough to have that stinging sensation here makes it way easier for you to get your consciousness here, because that is a psychological symbol. That sting, that pain, is something tangible that your mind can grasp onto to begin to have a presence right there where we want it, on the breastplate. So we're going to go ahead and do the practice again, except this time we're going to do those hard slaps on our breastplate first. So we're going to slap that breastplate like 4 to 5 times, then we're going to take that desire to breathe that's located deep within our being and place it on the stinging sensation that we caused from the slap. And then we're going to do a long, slow, contracted inhale where we are mentally insisting that that breathing motion is going to condense energy into our chest. So let's go ahead and start. And then lower your desire to breathe right into that stinging sensation. Inhale nice and slow for like 20 seconds. And then release. Okay, that was good. I felt more of you guys tapping into and having success with that little aid. It's like I have a type of general awareness of everybody that's taking part in this and those that might be taking part in it in the future. Not like a complete psychic awareness, but I can feel you guys generally within my soul energy. Like I sort of feel your energy as though it's my own. And I could just feel a lot more of you having success with that. So congratulations. What we're going to do now is take it to a next level. So we're going to breathe in through the heart, and we're going to condense that electromagnetic energy here. Except we're going to keep the breath attached. Like before, we would just breathe it in, condense it, and then we would just release. Now what we're going to do is keep the will motion of breathing connected as we exhale. So we inhaled to accumulate energy. Now as we exhale, we're going to force that energy with the motion of the out-breath up our throat, through the center of our head, and out the top, out the crown chakra, right out the top of the head. So we're going to draw energy into the chest, exhale it like a tube right up the center of our mind. And are you guys still there? I just got like an error message. Is everything okay? I just got an error message on my phone. Okay, cool. It's telling me that Page Manager stopped working, but I guess it still is. Okay, so a visual that I like to use for this one on the out-breath is a whale. You know, like a whale, the large mammal in the ocean. When a whale comes up to breathe, it spouts water like psh, out the ocean. So that's the visual that I like for this. As you condense the energy in with the in-breath, keep your breath attached to it. Use the exhale as a motion to move that energy up and out the top of your head. And just like a whale breathing in the ocean, you want to spout it out the top of your head like a fountain. So let's do that together. We'll start with the slap again to help us be aware of the energy. Then begin the inhale nice and slow. Now keep your breath attached to it as you begin the exhale. Force all that energy up and out the top of your head. Let's go ahead and repeat. In nice and slow through the heart. Accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Exhale. Push out the throat, through the top of the head. Out like a fountain, out right out of the top of the head. Let's do it one more time. In through the heart. And out through the top of the head. Good. And it feels really good, doesn't it? Were you guys able to feel like all the energy moving through your head? And my scalp gets really tingly on the exhale, and I'm actually able to feel up here, all of the space up here as it flows out. Now this sort of takes it to another level because you're freeing, you're moving energy through your thymus, your thyroid, your pineal, and your pituitary gland. So these are most of the glands in your endocrine, in your emotional system. So this is clearing up and freeing like so many things. So many illnesses these days are caused like a lot by the thyroid. People with weight problems, people with emotional instabilities. Doing this exercise once a day, like just remembering to do this like for a few minutes a day. I mean, once you're tapped in, once you know how to do it, you can do it while you're at work, you can do it while you're driving your car, but it's going to pretty much ensure that you're never going to have a thyroid problem, that you're going to have plenty of white blood cells to fight disease in your body, and that your pineal and pituitary, like the pituitary gland, is responsible for human growth hormone, which tells all of your cells to regrow, to regenerate, to stay young, to stay healthy. So that there's just countless benefits that this is going to have for you, physically speaking. Metaphysically speaking, it's going to cause soul integration. It's going to give you more access to your simultaneous lives. It's going to open up your dream time and make your multidimensional time like far more connected, far more powerful. It's going to bring you home. There's another part of this lesson that I want to go into. Two more applications of it before I close, because I feel them to be that important. What I want to talk about first is we've covered all the major glands except for the lower ones. So below the thymus, we have the adrenals, which are located here at the solar plexus. They're more back towards the back, but that is the general energy that's responsible for the solar plexus, the yellow. It's been called yellow energy. It's actually all colors. All chakras contain all colors. But yeah, that's a very important energy center. And then depending on whether you're male or female, you either have ovaries or you have testicles. And these are the major glands of the system. For this next one, we're going to focus on adrenal energy, solar plexus energy, because it is incredibly important. And most people are running that energy the wrong way. I would say, I hate to put numbers to these things, but 90 to 95% of everybody is most likely running their solar plexus energy completely the wrong way. And like I said, it's connected to the adrenals, which releases adrenaline. Now, the proper way to run adrenal energy from the solar plexus is to raise it up and feed it to the heart. When you do that, the adrenal energy becomes feelings of vitality, power, strength, vitality, like boom. You know, it's a very empowering mechanism. Now, the way most people are running adrenal energy is they're letting it trickle down into the stomach. And that becomes fear, anxiety, doubt, worry, insecurity. You know, all of those negative emotions. Like if you think about it, every time you feel fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, you know, all of these very negative emotions, they're stomach-based sensations. Like they go on in your stomach. And it's a product of the adrenal energy, the solar plexus energy, being ran the wrong way. It's going down instead of rising up into the heart. Well, we can correct that with easy application of what you just learned from this lesson. And as simple as it may sound, I mean, this is a way to pretty much heal all fear, all worry, all doubt, all anxiety. Like, I don't really care so much what causes it mentally. We can always work on changing our thought patterns to where we don't have to have these experiences. But even simpler than that is just going into the energy itself and changing it from there. Because no matter what the mind is thinking to trigger these things, if you're connected to your energy and you're able to prevent that adrenal energy from going down into the stomach and you can lift it up to the heart, then it really no longer matters so much what the brain wants to think. You know, you can always work on that, but it's better just to correct the problem right away. So once again, adrenal energy ran the wrong way means down to the stomach, means worry, doubt, anxiety, fear, you know, all of these things that are very bad for the body, very bad for the mind. Whereas if we can draw that adrenal energy up into the heart, that same energy that would have turned into something negative turns into vitality, force, power, strength, vigor, all of these positive things. It's like the very energy that takes your heart to the next level. If you run that adrenal energy properly up into the heart, it magnifies the heart energy. It makes it like 5 to 10 times stronger. And that's incredibly important. So for this one, we're going to take what we just learned, what we just did, except we're going to start at the solar plexus. So we're going to lower that will to breathe all the way down to our solar plexus level, and generally around in the stomach area as well. We're going to mentally grab onto that whole area, and we're going to breathe the energy into our stomach and into our adrenals, accumulate it there, and then we're going to exhale it through the heart, up and out the top of the head. We're just going to change those currents because they're all based on mental patterns. They're based on memory. So we've just got all of this memory of adrenal energy. It just steadily trickles down into the stomach. We're going to grab it and we're going to flow it up and through the body like a river. Get it into the heart and then breathe, right out the top of our head. So let's go ahead and do that a few times. You can, if you want, you can slap that your stomach, like your upper stomach area, you can slap it a few times to make it easier to sense. And then go ahead and begin a long, slow inhale, accumulating energy from all around into the stomach, into the solar plexus. Fill it up, fill it up. Okay, now exhale, push that energy up through the heart. Continue pushing with the exhale through the throat, out the top of the head. Okay, repeat. In through the stomach and solar plexus, accumulate, accumulate. Exhale, push it up through the heart, through the throat, out through the top of the head. Again, in-breath, accumulate, stomach, adrenals, accumulate, in, keep a hold of it. Exhale, push it up through the heart, through the throat, out the top of the head. Let's do one more. In, stomach, accumulate, exhale, push, up through the heart, through the throat, out the top of the head. Okay, now just examine how you feel from doing that. I'm sure you feel a lot better. Even when we're not too aware that we might be feeling some fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, there's usually a little bit of that present. But as soon as you change these pathways, these motions, you instantly feel a lot better. And you should feel stronger, like you got more vitality and everything. I would do this one, at least a few times a day as well. Once you've hooked your breath, once you've connected your breath into the electromagnetic spectrum, it's effortless to do. So you could be driving your car to work, and you could just remember, I'm going to do my heart breathing. I'm going to breathe from here in my chest. I'm going to do like 5 or 6 breaths like that. Then I'm going to do my solar plexus breathing, to make sure that my adrenal energy is going the right way. It really only takes like 5 to 10 breaths, cycles of each one that you want to do. So make it a part of your daily habit, like when you're driving to work, or you can do it when you're laying down on your back to sleep at night. You can make it a routine of something that you do before bed, but it's going to be highly, highly beneficial for so many reasons. The final part that I want to share with you guys, an application of this technique before we end this, is a lesson that I call connecting to the higher self. And that's where we use the basics of what we learn, having the breath connected to the electromagnetic energy spectrum, having our consciousness be a part of that action by understanding that everything is mind, makes the mind mobile. Anywhere that you're able to feel something, you can move your mental, your conscious presence there. So your mind was now a part of the energy, it was a part of your heart, it was a part of your solar plexus. So what we're going to do for this connecting to higher self lesson is we're going to, instead of breathing the air out of the crown like a cone, we're going to breathe it like a laser beam. We're going to keep it very tight like a tube, and we're going to keep it very condensed. Now, As we do this, you want to allow your mind, your mental consciousness, to travel up here with it as we exhale the energy out the top of our head. Now, metaphysically speaking, there is a spatial relationship in the quantum energy field all around us. It's a little bit different for everybody, but you'll find when you get good at projecting your consciousness in and out of your body that spatially speaking, the nature of reality changes. Like if I project to the left, well, this is a little advanced, but it'll help me explain it. If I project to the left, like straight to the left, I go into the future. If I project to the right, you will end up going into the past. If you project like 3 feet above your head, you guys are in Germany for the most part, so 3 feet is about 1 meter. There's like a membrane, there's like a separation layer between this physical reality and the next lighter reality where our higher self dwells. So the goal of this lesson is to project through the breath that beam of energy about 1 meter above the top of our head, and you'll feel it when you get it. There's like a little pop, and that's when you'll know that your ego consciousness, your mind, your physical self has projected itself into the dimension, into the density of the higher self, and made a connection. It's very profound and leads to a lot of things. It'll lead to enhanced dream time, enhanced intuition. It'll lead to you experiencing yourself as being your higher self, literally. You'll have out-of-body experiences that are in greater levels of energy and understanding, so it's fabulous. So what we're going to do for this one is it's going to be heart breathing, so we're going to focus the energy and breathe it in through the center of our chest, and it's the same thing as heart breathing, except as we exhale, we're going to keep the energy very tight, like a tube, and exhale it straight out the top of our head, about 1 meter above our head. And when you get it, you're going to feel like a little pop when you've popped through the density layer to get to where the higher self is. Once we're there, then we're gonna release and allow that energy to flow back down into the head so that we can receive information from the higher self. But first, it's critical that we bring the ego up there with the higher self so that union can be made. I guess I'll go into this briefly. If you start trying to merge with the higher self and you start by bringing it down, if that's the way you start, you do open yourself up to some possibilities that, although everything always works itself out in the end, you do open yourself up to some possibilities that are less than desirable. There's more presence up there than just yours. There's other people. Everybody has a higher self. And if you just open up right away to whatever energy wants to come down, it could be somebody else that you're channeling. You know, there's no way of knowing for sure that it's your higher self that you're making connection with unless it's you who goes up there first. And that's why we start by going up first ourselves. So let's go ahead and begin with that. So let's slap our chest a few times. Connect the breath down to the heart. Long inhale. Accumulate as much energy as you can in your chest. Let it build, 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 build. Okay, now exhale and push with a hard focus. Keep it focused like a tube. Push that energy through your throat, up through the top of your head. Blast it out the top of your head and keep going. Keep that breath attached. Exhale every bit you can and go as high as you can. And just hold it. And just examine how high above your head you make it. Okay, now let's repeat and let's try to get even higher. In. Accumulate as much energy as you can, rushing in through your chest. Build it right up. Exhale, push, keep it focused, keep it tight, like a beam, like a tube, like a laser, out the top of your head. Keep pushing, keep exhaling. Push, push, push. Get as high as you can. Hold it. Okay, that one was really good. Let's do one more just to make sure. I felt a lot of you guys popping through, but let's do it one more time. In, accumulate, open that chest wide. There's so much room for energy in the heart. Let it build, let it build. Exhale, push, keep it tight, keep it focused like a beam, like a laser. Out the top of the head, push, go even further this time. Push and let your mind flow right up with it. Get up there. Okay, now hold your presence there. Disconnect it from the breath. Just hold the presence that you gained above your head. And now allow it to beam itself back down to you. You'll feel it almost like it's like snow falling. It's very subtle. It's like snow or gentle rain. Start to let it just fall back down into your body, and you'll feel like a gentle, nourishing stream of energy coming from your higher self. You'll feel it trickling down into your head. It sort of causes like a warm buzzing sensation. Now our job is to open up and receive. So remove all barriers. Let the energy come down into the center of your mind. Make connection with your pineal gland. Good. Okay, now open up that throat. Let it trickle down through the throat. Now to the heart. And it's a steady stream of energy, and it's not connected to the breath. It's like a steady fall, like at the pace of like snow falling or gentle rain. Start to let it fall now down through your stomach, through your hips, out your feet, and through the bottom. And just stay open and just stay aware, and you can have this steady stream of gentle, refreshing, revitalizing, nurturing energy coming from your higher self above you, that you have confirmation that it is your higher self because you went up there first. Always a good idea. Okay, guys, we'll work on those throughout the day. I like to do the higher self connection exercise at night before sleep. It really helps with the dream time connection, with the type of information that you receive. I mean, with all of these lessons, they become so ingrained into your system that you'll just find yourself doing them all throughout the day, and the more the better. But you want to at least do them once a day. And at first, it's going to be a matter of finding time to work it in, but eventually it just becomes habit, and you couldn't imagine not doing your energy exercises because they make you feel so good. They help with so many things, and they really enhance every aspect of your life. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. It was an honor to be a part of the Heal Revolution team and to be with you guys today. Namaste, God bless you all, and I appreciate your presence, and thank you as well. Glad that we all got to do this together, and look forward to the benefits you'll obtain to it. So, bye-bye, everybody. Have a great weekend, and happy Thanksgiving.